Stop what you are doing, because the habits exposed today may decide whether the years ahead feel active and independent or limited. These are not rare medical mistakes. They are ordinary routines in kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, and living rooms every day. Most look harmless. Some even look healthy. Yet when the body crosses 60, the same routine can produce a very different result. Dr. Evelyne Emma has studied the patterns that quietly weaken older adults. The warning signs often begin softly: heavier legs in the morning, poor balance on the stairs, slower thinking by afternoon, and a tiredness that does not disappear after rest. A landmark study reported that older adults who consistently followed several healthy lifestyle habits had about a 60% lower observed risk of Alzheimer's disease than those following almost none. That number does not promise immunity. It proves that daily choices still matter. Age is powerful, but it is not the only force shaping the body. The body keeps responding to food, movement, sleep, hydration, light, medicine, and routine. A person may believe nothing is changing until the distance to the gate feels longer, the shopping bag feels heavier, or a familiar name takes several seconds to return. Many viewers know that feeling. The knees ache after sitting. The body feels stiff after waking. The eyes need brighter light. Sleep lasts longer, yet the morning still begins with exhaustion. These changes can feel like a door closing, but some of them are not fixed endings. They are warnings. And warnings are valuable when they arrive early enough to be understood. 7 common habits will be counted down, from the overlooked to the most surprising. The final habit happens during the first quiet minutes of the morning, before breakfast, before the television, and often before the body has fully awakened. Almost every senior has done it. Many do it daily. Stay to the end, because number 1 may completely change the way tomorrow morning begins. This is not a list built to frighten people into chasing miracle pills. It is a practical health review designed for older adults who refuse to accept that weakness, confusion, and dependence must automatically become their future. Each habit will reveal the belief behind it, what the body may actually be experiencing, and the safest adjustment that can be started without turning life upside down. Number 7 is saving most of the day's nourishment for one large evening meal. For decades, dinner has been treated as the serious meal. Breakfast may be tea and bread. Lunch may be skipped. Then evening arrives with a heavy plate containing nearly all the protein, vegetables, and calories the body receives. It feels normal. After 60, however, normal is not always efficient. Older muscles often respond less strongly to small amounts of protein, a change commonly called anabolic resistance. When nearly all the protein arrives at night, the muscles may spend most of the day without enough building material to support repair and strength. The result is not immediate collapse. It is quieter, reduced muscle quality, slower recovery, low daytime energy, and a gradual loss of confidence during ordinary movement. Consider a 72-year-old retired teacher named Grace. Her breakfast was usually tea. Lunch was often biscuits or fruit. Dinner was enormous because she believed one complete meal could make up for the entire day. By evening, she felt bloated, and by morning, she felt weak. Her food was not necessarily unhealthy. The timing and distribution were working against her. When protein was added to breakfast and lunch, her meals became smaller, her energy steadier, and walking no longer felt as draining. Hi viewers, which worries you more right now? Losing your strength or losing your memory? Leave one answer in the comments. That single choice reveals what many older adults fear but rarely say aloud, and it will help others watching understand that they are not alone. The practical change is simple. Stop allowing dinner to carry the whole day. Add a meaningful protein source earlier. Eggs, unsweetened yogurt, beans, fish, chicken, lentils, milk, or tofu, depending on personal needs. Spread nourishment across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, rather than forcing the body to process one oversized plate late in the day. Anyone living with kidney disease or a prescribed diet should follow an individual medical plan, not a general internet target. Number 6 is taking long, extremely hot showers. The heat feels soothing, especially when joints are stiff. That comfort creates the trap. Older skin produces less protective oil and holds moisture less effectively. Prolonged hot water can strip away more of that barrier, leaving the skin tight, itchy, and vulnerable. At the same time, heat can widen blood vessels. For a person prone to dizziness, that sudden change may turn a peaceful bathroom into a dangerous place. The safer answer is not to fear bathing. It is to change the conditions. Use warm water instead of intense heat. Keep the shower brief. Apply a moisturizer while the skin is still slightly damp. Use a non-slip mat. Keep soap within easy reach. And install support bars where balance is uncertain. That sounds ordinary. It is. But the habits that protect independence are often ordinary until the day they prevent a fall. And the next habit is even more deceptive, because many seniors use it to protect painful joints while it quietly makes those joints less supported. Number 5 is avoiding resistance exercise because the knees, hips, or shoulders already hurt. The reasoning sounds protective. If movement causes discomfort, rest must be safer. Yet complete avoidance often creates the very weakness that makes daily movement harder. Muscles do more than create strength. They steady joints, absorb force, support posture, and help the body recover balance before a stumble becomes a fall. After 60, muscle tissue can decline more quickly when it is not challenged. This age-related loss is called sarcopenia. It rarely announces itself with one dramatic moment. It appears when rising from a low chair requires both hands. It appears when carrying groceries becomes a two-stage task. It appears when a person stops visiting friends because the steps outside their home suddenly feel uncertain. That is the hidden cost. In a well-known supervised study involving frail adults between 72 and 98, progressive resistance training produced an average strength increase of about 113% in 10 weeks. The participants were not young athletes. Many were living with serious limitations. The result did not mean every older adult would improve at the same rate, but it challenged the belief that advanced age makes meaningful strength gains impossible. A 79-year-old widower named Samuel had slowly reduced his world to 3 rooms. His knees ached, so he stopped walking to the corner shop. Then he stopped using the back steps. Eventually, he avoided any chair that looked too low. Rest seemed to protect him, but each month of rest removed another small piece of ability. Under professional guidance, he began with 5 supported chair rises, gentle band rows, and seated knee extensions. The movements looked almost too small to matter. They mattered. After several weeks, Samuel could rise without pulling on the table. Later, he resumed short walks outside. The important change was not speed or distance, it was trust. His body no longer felt like an unpredictable object he had to fear. The safe response to joint pain is not reckless exercise. It is properly scaled exercise. Chair sit-to-stands, wall push-ups, resistance band rows, supported calf raises, and balance practice beside a stable surface can train major muscle groups without turning the session into a punishment. 2 strength sessions each week can be a reasonable starting structure for many older adults, but the resistance, range, and supervision should match the person. Sharp pain, new swelling, sudden weakness, chest discomfort, or unexplained breathlessness should never be treated as a challenge to push through. Those signs deserve assessment. Ordinary effort is expected. Warning pain is different. The strongest older adults are not the ones who ignore every signal. They are the ones who learn which signals require movement and which require help. Number 4 is using stronger reading glasses as a replacement for a complete eye examination. This habit feels sensible because the change is gradual. A menu becomes harder to read, so a stronger pair is purchased. The television looks slightly dull, so the room light is increased. Night driving becomes uncomfortable, so evening journeys are avoided. Each adjustment solves one small problem while the cause remains unseen. Presbyopia, the age-related loss of near-focusing ability, is common. Reading glasses can help it, but glasses do not examine the optic nerve. They do not measure eye pressure. They do not reveal cataracts, glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, or changes affecting the center of vision. A person can read a newspaper clearly and still have an eye condition developing quietly beyond the page. A 68-year-old seamstress named Beatrice kept several pairs of reading glasses around her home. She blamed every visual change on age. When colors began looking faded and steps became harder to judge in dim light, she simply bought brighter bulbs. A full examination later identified a treatable problem that reading glasses could never have corrected. Early attention preserved options that delay might have reduced. The lesson is uncomfortable because it reverses a reassuring belief. Seeing better through a stronger lens does not always mean the eyes are healthy. Regular comprehensive eye examinations matter, especially when vision changes, diabetes, glaucoma risk, flashes, new floaters, or difficulty with night vision are present. Home safety matters too. Hallways should be well lit. Stair edges can be marked with clear contrast. Prescriptions should remain current, and lenses should be clean. Leafy vegetables, eggs, fish, beans, and colorful produce support general nutrition, but no food should be sold as a cure for presbyopia or eye disease. It also means controlling diabetes and blood pressure with medical support, since both can affect vision. Sudden vision loss, a curtain-like shadow, or eye pain needs urgent assessment, not another pair of glasses. At this point, viewers who have gained one useful idea can support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. That small action helps this information reach another older adult before a quiet habit becomes a larger problem. The next habit begins after the lights go out. It can hide behind 9 hours of sleep, a calm bedroom, and a tiny tablet taken so often that no one remembers when it became routine. Number 3 is treating long sleep and regular sleep aid use as harmless parts of aging. Sleep is essential. That is exactly why this habit is difficult to question. A person who sleeps for 9 or 10 hours may assume the body simply needs more recovery. But when those hours end with the same exhaustion, the problem may not be a shortage of time in bed. It may be poor quality sleep, a medical condition, or a medicine quietly changing how the brain functions overnight. The danger stays hidden until daily function changes. Long sleep has been linked in observational research with a higher risk of cognitive decline. That does not prove that extra sleep directly causes memory loss. In many cases, unusually long sleep may be a warning signal. Sleep apnea, depression, chronic pain, neurological illness, low activity, and medication effects can all leave an older adult in bed longer while providing less restorative rest. Then there are over-the-counter sleep aids. Some contain diphenhydramine or similar medicines with anticholinergic effects. These products can cause next-day drowsiness, dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, and confusion, particularly in older adults. Research following more than 3,000 older people has also linked higher cumulative exposure to strong anticholinergic medicines with greater dementia risk. An association is not a personal diagnosis, but it is strong enough to make routine, unsupervised use worth reviewing. A 76-year-old former accountant named Ruth had taken the same nighttime tablet for nearly 4 years. She slept for 10 hours, yet breakfast often passed in a haze. Her daughter noticed repeated questions and assumed memory decline had simply arrived. A medication review found that the nightly product was adding to her daytime fog. Her clinician created a gradual plan, examined other causes of poor sleep, and arranged assessment for loud snoring. Nothing was stopped suddenly. Within months, Ruth was sleeping fewer hours but waking more refreshed. The transformation did not come from chasing perfect sleep. It came from discovering why the sleep she already had was failing her. That distinction matters. Anyone who snores loudly, wakes gasping, experiences morning headaches, or fights severe daytime sleepiness should not hide those signs beneath another sedating tablet. A consistent wake time, reduced evening caffeine, a dark and quiet bedroom, gentle daytime activity, and less bright screen exposure before bed can support healthier sleep. Beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and leafy vegetables provide dietary magnesium, but supplements should not be treated as universal sleep medicine. Kidney function, current medication, and dosage all matter. The safest action is a review, not an abrupt stop. Prescribed medicines and long-used sleep products may require gradual changes under professional guidance. A tired brain does not always need stronger sedation. Sometimes it needs the cause uncovered. Number 2 is waiting for strong thirst before drinking. This is one of the quietest traps in later life, because thirst may become less reliable with age. The body can need fluid before the mouth feels dry. By the time intense thirst arrives, concentration, energy, bowel function, and balance may already be affected. Dehydration does not always look dramatic. It may appear as unusual tiredness, darker urine, constipation, headache, dizziness, poor attention, or sudden confusion. In older adults, those changes are often blamed on age, stress, or memory problems. The real cause may be sitting in an untouched glass beside the chair. A 74-year-old shop owner named Daniel believed he drank enough because he never felt thirsty. His mornings began with strong tea. Water appeared only at dinner. During a warm week, he became unusually tired and unsteady, and his family feared something serious was developing. Medical evaluation ruled out several concerns and identified inadequate fluid intake as an important contributor. A simple schedule was introduced: a small glass after waking, another with breakfast, one near midday, and regular drinks through the afternoon. His energy did not become youthful overnight. Something more useful happened. The unpredictable weakness eased, his constipation improved, and his family stopped mistaking preventable dehydration for sudden decline. The solution is not to force huge amounts of water at once. That can be uncomfortable and, in some medical conditions, unsafe. The better approach is steady intake across the day. Water can remain visible. Drinks can be linked to meals and routine medicines. Soups, milk, watermelon, oranges, cucumbers, and other water-rich foods can contribute. During hot weather, fever, vomiting, or diarrhea, fluid needs may change quickly. But there is an important exception. People with heart failure, advanced kidney disease, severe liver disease, or a prescribed fluid limit should follow their own clinical plan. More is not automatically safer. Another common mistake is adding salt to water as though every older adult needs homemade electrolytes. Many do not. Extra sodium may be unsuitable for people managing high blood pressure, swelling, heart disease, or kidney problems. Electrolyte products have a place in specific situations, but routine use should not be built on internet fashion. The practical test is consistency. A senior who drinks only at dinner is leaving too much of the day uncovered. A visible bottle, a marked cup, or a simple reminder can restore what fading thirst no longer requests clearly. And now, the final reveal approaches. It requires no supplement, no expensive equipment, and no complicated diet. It begins in the first minutes after waking, when one ordinary decision can shape how much movement the body receives for the rest of the day. Number 1 is beginning every morning with a long period of complete inactivity. It sounds too ordinary to matter. A person wakes, sits at the edge of the bed, walks to the kitchen, pours tea or coffee, and settles into a chair. The television comes on. One program becomes another. Before the body has entered the day, an hour has disappeared. The problem is not the brief pause needed to stand safely. Older adults who experience dizziness should sit first, move the ankles, and rise carefully. The concern is what happens after that moment, the chair becoming the first destination and remaining the center of the morning. Human beings experience a cortisol awakening response. Cortisol usually rises during the period after waking, helping the body shift from sleep toward alertness. Morning movement does not use up cortisol, and sitting does not poison it. The real issue is simpler and supported. When the morning begins with prolonged sitting, it can establish a pattern that continues through breakfast, television, reading, and afternoon rest. One inactive hour quietly recruits the next. That is the reveal. The most dangerous habit on the list is not exotic. It is the habit of postponing movement until later, then discovering that later never arrives. A 77-year-old retired mechanic named Peter followed the same routine for 11 years. He woke at 7, sat with coffee, watched the news, and remained in his chair until nearly 9. He complained that his knees needed 2 hours to loosen and that his mind remained cloudy until lunchtime. Because he felt stiff, he waited to move. Because he waited, the stiffness remained the strongest message his body received each morning. His starting plan lasted 5 minutes. Nothing heroic. While seated, he performed ankle pumps and slow shoulder rolls. He stood beside the chair for support, completed 3 controlled sit-to-stands, and walked through the hallway. After 1 week, the walk reached the front gate. After several weeks, it became 10 minutes outdoors when conditions were safe. The important result was not a dramatic number on a scale. Peter began trusting the morning again. He no longer treated stiffness as an order to remain still. His day gained a clear beginning, and that beginning made later movement easier. Morning daylight added another useful signal. Light entering the eyes early in the day helps the brain organize its internal clock, supporting daytime alertness and the timing of sleep later at night. It is not a cure for every sleep problem or mood change. It is a simple environmental cue the body recognizes. The safe routine can remain modest. After waking, a person prone to lightheadedness can sit briefly, breathe, and move the feet before standing. Then comes 5 to 10 minutes of gentle activity, walking indoors, moving near a stable support, stretching comfortably, or stepping outside with a walking aid. The aim is not exhaustion. The aim is interruption. Movement should also return throughout the day. A short standing or walking break after prolonged sitting can matter more than one ambitious workout, followed by hours in a chair. Television breaks can become movement reminders. Phone calls can be taken standing when safe. A glass of water can be placed far enough away to require a short walk, but never where it creates a fall risk. This habit carries the strongest message because it exposes the truth behind all 7 items. Health after 60 is rarely protected by one dramatic act. It is shaped by repeated signals. Food tells muscle whether building material is available. Strength work tells the body that ability is still required. Water supports circulation and attention. Sleep routines protect alertness. Eye care preserves awareness of the environment. Safe bathing protects skin and balance. Morning movement tells the day to begin. No one needs to become an athlete before breakfast. The first victory is simply refusing to let the chair make every decision. The body after 60 is different, but different does not mean finished. It still listens. It still adapts. It still responds to the choices repeated. Grace changed how nourishment was spread across the day. Samuel rebuilt strength through supported movements. Beatrice stopped treating stronger glasses as an answer. Ruth questioned the sleep routine that kept her foggy. Daniel drank before thirst became an alarm. Peter reclaimed the first minutes of his morning. None of them chased perfection. They protected independence. That is the real purpose of these 7 changes. Preserving the ability to rise, walk, think clearly, join family conversations, and remain present in a life that still belongs to them. Those watching can begin with one correction today. Then name that habit in the comments. Sharing the video may place the warning in front of someone who needs it. Subscribing keeps this community connected to guidance for healthier aging. The next video exposes a breakfast combination many seniors eat every morning, believing it protects the heart, yet it can leave energy crashing before 10 o'clock. The final ingredient in that breakfast is the one most people never suspect, and missing it could keep the same exhausting cycle repeating tomorrow.